Hello and welcome back to the Pub Test Podcast. I'm your host, Fletcher, and second in command is Thomas Santorino.
No.
I'm his co-host.
No, you're not. I didn't even give us a chance to introduce you as I'm co-host. That's Daniel Hooper, by the way.
We have our co-host here today, Daniel Hooper.
Thank you. Guest co-host, yeah.
Guest co-host?
Yeah.
Special
Just-
co-host.
Just a one episode.
1.5 in command.
1.5. I'm feeling like Jack Post to be here, number 6. But, no, thank you for coming on, Hoops.
That's okay. It's happy to be here.
Nice.
Having
Now,
nice Kirks.
yeah, I mean, it was sponsored by Kirk's, as always. Now, we're going to ask him at Richmond, weren't we?
Yeah, sure.
Only briefly, but we talked about the Hawks a bit too much last week for our liking. But the Dimmer, obviously, we obviously know he's gone to Gold Coast. Obviously, there's a bit of a speculation, especially from Kane Corns, about how he said he was burnt out, and then 2 weeks later, he's already basically saying he wants to coach again. What are your thoughts on that? Is there a bitter taste in your mouth from that?
I'm not too worried about it. I think I have a lot of love for Dimmer. He's sort of, for me, been the Richmond coach. Like, as soon as he came in 2009, I think it was, and I would have been 9, 10 years of age, and that's sort of when you get serious about footy and you know a lot more. So he, for me, has been the Richmond coach, but at some point he has to move on with his life. He can't be there forever. And I'm really happy that he's gone to Gold Coast. I think he's going to be the perfect fit up there. I'm not sure about having 80% or 90% of it his premiership winning team. But yeah, I think it's the right place for him. It's the right move at this time.
I agree.
You don't mind that he's dragging pretty much everyone out of Richmond and going to the Gold Coast? Like, I feel like it's to me, I'd be a little bit not pissed off. What's the right word?
Worried. Well, he's not taking Dusty, and that's all that matters to me. You know, he's saying that next he'll play us 300th game, and then we might talk. We might have the same conversation next year
when the money's a bit different. And there's no contract there.
I think it's funny, like Mubby or Chol and Brandon Ellis and stuff who are already there. It's like, welcome back, guys.
Literally, you wonder if they get if he wants to trade Marvel Chol like he did.
Apparently, Chol wants to leave, or not wants to leave. Apparently, he's being actively shopped, so he probably won't be there.
Interesting. That doesn't surprise me. But we know from Carlton years gone by, you can't rely on Levi Casbolt. So
the sad part is they've kind of had to.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. They've had to. He's serviceable. Like he does a job, but he's never going to be in a finals playing side. He's not good enough to be.
No.
But the sad part is that Chol's been playing VFL ahead of. Casbolt's been getting picked.
Which is crazy because wasn't last year he kicked 50 goals or something?
He had a good year last year.
Mad.
He had a very good year.
Dropped off a cliff.
He has, but
a lot of promise.
Yeah.
But
how's Richmond go next year, Hoops?
I think we'll do a lot better with Tom Lynch. I understand, but I would have liked Ray Walt to stick around for one more year, play that second fiddle. And I think that if Tom Lynch had played this year, he wouldn't have had as much of a toll on his body this season, and he would have been able to back up again. I think Dustin Martin will play a big role in the forward line as that number 2. Because we just don't have one at the moment. Who are you going to rely on? Ben Miller. He's a nice enough young kid, but he's not an absolute superstar.
Dusty was actually really good. Like,
underrated.
I know he made the All-Australian squad, so it's not underrated, but
not to make All-Australian.
I mean, he had a good enough year, but I don't think he's better than the 4 guys.
He broke a lot of records, but for I
definitely under the radar. Like, I didn't realise how good a year till we started touring All-Australian. I didn't realise how good a year he had.
Back half of the year.
Yeah.
When Dimmer left, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the funny part. But
Dimmer was just throwing the magnets around by the end of it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Cochin playing forward. Come on, mate.
Yuck. But
it's gonna be interesting where Richmond end up and Gold Coast, how that kind of works out there over the next 12 months. There was another question I was going to ask you. I don't remember now.
That's all right.
Must be important then.
That's what I was going to talk about. EPL, just really quickly, Tommy. Angie's going well.
He's going so... Did you see... I'm not sure if you saw what happened. They were 1-0 down, and then they score in the 95th minute and then the 100th minute.
Wow.
100 minutes?
Yeah, because there's a new... I'm not sure you watched the World Cup. World Cup, they put more emphasis on stoppage time. Like, you can time waste, but they'd always add 4 or 5 minutes. Now they add like 9, 10 minutes.
Really?
So games are going longer now. And yeah, they scored 2 goals in stoppage time to win. So he's flying. And I mean, listening to his How He Games podcast, it's great.
Yeah. Harry Kaneless and just doing the job.
It's been surprising. We talked about it.
I'm proud of Ange.
I'm proud of Ange too.
I heard him. It was a press conference I was listening to, and he was talking about how players are like perceived in the media, and how they're all like people and all have like lives and everyone has problems. And I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like coming out from that perspective and sort of giving the people what they need to hear a bit. That
Yeah.
these guys are people as well, and you need to give them respect.
I think it's come off the back of Richarlison, who was a big signing started last season, didn't score a single Premier League goal at home. Like, he had a terrible year and then played for Brazil during the week and came off crying. So I think that's probably why that I didn't say the interview. That's probably why it came up, because he was saying mental health issues.
Probably
so.
very likely, yeah.
But and I guess the great thing about sport is he came out, he won the game. He got a goal and assist in those two goals. Come off the bench, and that was the first time he'd scored at home.
It's a fairy tale story.
So he is great. That's, I guess, what sport can do.
Should make a Pixar movie about him.
It should make a documentary, an Amazon Prime doco about him. But Ange is flying. Unfortunately, Chelsea's not so. So let's not talk about Chelsea. Another terrible draw against Bournemouth. Another side that's...
I hear it's nice there.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. But well, no, what wasn't nice was Chelsea's football. That's the insight we brought on.
I heard it's nice there.
This is from the guy that we're having a chat with about England before. The only place he knew was Manchester.
No. That was my first guess. That was my first... Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so he will know if we apply context to that. But, yes, no, let's not talk about Chelsea. But, yeah, Ange Ball, I guess.
I'm supporting Ange.
I mean, as you should. They're my second team. I don't like second teams, but I want Tottenham to do good.
Did you hear me explain about how he got a Chelsea fan? How he became a Chelsea fan?
Dan's heard this.
You'll know about
What do you
it.
mean I know?
Dan's heard this
He used to have the Manchester United bedsheets.
Don't! Oh, I hate bandwagons with a passion.
Yep. You're an all-time flip-flopper, Tom. All-time.
Basically, I've said it on the podcast, surely.
Yeah, you said it last week. You explained it last
You're
week.
saying that you followed Marcus.
You were Marcus. No, you were Marcus.
What's better, flip-flopping or being a sheep?
Because you're both.
God. No, I'm not. No.
Pick one.
I'm not answering that question. But right now, they're both doing terrible. So right now, I'm not missing anything. United and Chelsea are both sucking.
What do you like, red or blue?
I like my blue. That's why I'm a Chelsea boy. No, let's not. Can we talk about footy, please?
Okay, we'll get you off this. Get you off it. Yeah, we'll talk some footy. We always had semi-finals. It's big. Both teams that were playing in this game from the top four both lost, which I think, I don't know, I'm sure there's a stat out there. They know last time that happened, but I can't remember the last time that happened in a long time. So Demons are out, Port are out. Who do you want to go with first? Demons or Port?
We'll hit Demons, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
Starting in order because they played first.
I think that makes the most sense to go in chronological order.
It's good for me, Tom.
Do you know how to spell that, Fletcher?
No, I don't.
Let's not call him out.
Since you took it back at me, you can start then.
Yeah.
I mean...
What do you think about Brody Grundy? Not picking Brody Grundy.
Yeah, we're gonna start. Shaki as a sub was a horrendous decision. Now, I can. It makes you can see why. It's obvious why is that they were worried about
Why? What is?
Well, they took out a tall and put in a small. They weren't sure if it was going to work. So that's why I see Shaki being picked as a break glass case of emergency.
But why wouldn't you start him from the start? He's a tall.
That's my thinking. Is I think you do the other way around. I think you'd start the tall and then take him off. So I think it's backwards. But I can see why. So I'm not saying it's a good decision. It's a bad
So
decision.
the thinking's there. It's just they've gone about it wrongly.
Correct. I agree. So it's yeah.
Do you think that Brody Grundy was ever a chance to play?
Nah.
I think he would have been in consideration.
I reckon he's
Especially
almost
Gordon's
told
injury.
them a couple of weeks ago when the second time he got dropped, just don't pick me again.
Don't pick you again.
I'll be at training. I'll help you out.
Why? Why would
have
you
a
say that?
smile on my face, but I'll be like,
Yeah,
I'm not going to give 100%. I'm not going to die for the club.
Why?
He's going to put a brave face on, but...
Because it would be hard to be dropped this for the second time after being traded with all this money, like all the media sort of speculation. I think it would be just so hard that you just almost say, nah, don't worry about picking me. Like, not don't worry, but I'm not going to bleed for this club. I'm out the door. I'm halfway out the door. This is a final. So
I think I don't like having Shaki as sub, but I would have rather had Grundy just because of the Gorn injury.
Yep, totally go.
So I still wouldn't have done it.
It's nice in hindsight, isn't it?
Of course, but just you knew Gorn was injured. So I didn't think Gorn was that bad.
What if Jack Viney get injured? It's like, you go, mate.
Correct.
Like,
So I would have honestly played
Need someone
Grundy and
who's
then
versatile.
I would honestly have played Grundy and then taken him off if it wasn't working. But
That's a good call.
yeah, D's once again bad kicking is bad football.
Yeah, sums it up.
They should have won both these games.
But it's not just goal kicking. It's field kicking is a bit that
Yeah.
I mean, they just bomb it long, 50 metres, and then try and hit the hot spot. It's like, hit up some leads. Hit up someone different. Try something different. Like, no one leads anymore. because you don't get hit.
Yeah.
You just get over your head and you have to make it to the contest. And yes, they did have a lot of behinds, but when you go, they had 7 rush behinds.
Yeah,
so you
but
take away that.
We can talk about Max Gawn as well.
Well,
in the
yeah,
moments.
that doesn't
Yeah,
help.
that was bizarre. But
Push the players, to be honest, but
to be fair, I thought early on there was a clear switch in what they were trying to do. But in the end, they just reverted back to bombing, long as you said. And Wiedering had a good night. We'll talk about Wiedering, yes, a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, they should have won both these games. They lost both of them. So I think, I'm not sure if you watch on the couch, that everyone's smashing Melbourne. Buckley's got an opposite view. Nathan Buckley. He's been like, they've done everything
I thought
right.
you were talking about your puppy there. But,
Yeah, named after Nathan Buckley, yes. But, I mean...
Thank you for the clarification.
I mean, it was probably self-explanatory, I guess. But he's complete opposite. He was like that. I mean, if you, at the start of the year, if you were told in finals that you're going to win the inside 50s by this much, the scoring shots by this much, you take it.
Yeah, I understand that point, but they do that all season long. They've done that for the last 2 years all season long, and the finals all season long, and the final series all way long. Yet they don't always win games of footy. I know in the season they finished top 4, but they had some patches where they're quite ordinary. So
I think their forward structure just needs a complete overturn.
Yeah.
Totally.
Not having a proper tall forward. And you talk about like Ben Brown, but he was not in.
No.
He wasn't properly fit
Wasn't
to
getting
play.
picked. Wasn't getting picked.
Well, he was injured for the first week of finals, wasn't he? And then it was like, oh, do we pick him for week 2?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
He's a real lead-up forward too, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind that either. He's literally a lead-up
But
forward.
they don't use that lead.
No.
Yeah.
They'll just bomb it over his head, so it's kind of pointless having a good forward because they'll end up just bombing it past him.
That's true.
It's on Goodwin and the forward team to structure it.
And
talk
in
how
the
they want
midfield to recognise what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, hit those little leads, reward players. Like, the only person they hit is Bailey Fritsch. Now, he is probably the best leader in the competition.
star.
But they've got to hit those little ones every now and again because otherwise defenders just roll. Like, I'm sure you watch on the couch. So you watch defenders literally start rolling when they played Collingwood. A minute before the ball got even kicked, the defender's already running back to the hotspot because they know where the ball's going to go.
Yeah.
So then there's just a mass of numbers there. No crumbs can get the ball, and you end up with a stoppage, and then it flings out the other way.
And to that extreme, there was instances where the ball was coming in and no one would fly because no one wants to mark this. Cosy Pickett, not that he's the flyer and the marker, but it's so frustrating to watch. Like he's a lazy. I was about to say cricketer, lazy footballer. He just wants it to sit in his lap. He wants to do the flashy things, and that's great. But you need to put the hard yards in as well at the same time.
But it's like it's not his role. But then at the same time, when you look at their list build and stuff like that, where the money is,
Just wanted to talk crap about Cosy Pickett. But
where the money is, it's just like you can see why they had those problems, which I understand why like you have to work through them. But using the ball better, and particularly looking at when you look at Petrarca and Oliver, those two are paid a lot of money, so you kind of want them to use the ball a little bit better inside 50. Like hit those short 15-metre kicks so you can pull out defenders. Because watch Collingwood. It was Collingwood running back before they even kicked the ball. Collingwood leaving their man.
their distributors are some of the best field kicks going around as well.
Yeah.
So that sort of helps them.
So
Whereas I think, Oliver is not a great kick at the footy.
No.
yeah, but
I want to hear both your thoughts on Kane's comments. Did you hear him? That Petrarca cannot be considered in the top players in the game until he fixes his ball use. Thoughts?
it's one of the overreactions, but it's also not one of the overreactions. Because when you watch what he does, it's awesome, fantastic, and then he kicks for goal, and you go, oh my god, how are you not slotting that? Like, how are you not hitting that target? So for everything he does good, he can stuff it up with a kick, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who have the same problems. I think what do you say? Top what?
He said the top. He said the top echelon. So I'm saying the top like 5 because
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say
okay.
top
Yeah,
5.
no, I'd be okay with that. That's fine. He is a gun footballer and has a major impact. But yeah, you need to be able to do it all. To be
I think, I'm not sure. They showed stats the difference in him and Toby Green. And Toby Green's obviously a forward.
Yeah.
Petrarca's like 45 goals, 67 without in the fulls. Toby's 100 goals, 54.
Yeah.
So obviously Toby's a forward, natural forward. You got to have a bit better goal sense, but that's a big difference, man.
That comparison was a bit unfair towards Petrarca, but I do understand when you watch him line up or when you watch him kick for goal, I do feel like you have a sense that this could be out in the fall, it could be through the middle, it could be anywhere in between them two. So
That's the same. I think that's stiff because there's not many people kicking a footy when they get it that you go, that's just a goal. It's not like that. It's not like Plugger taking a mark. It's like, well, might as well just run back to our positions now. Like that's going to go through. I can't.
Yeah.
That's,
For him, it's just another feeling. It's a different feeling. Everyone else can go, yeah, they'll make that most times. For him, I'm just like, I'd set up for behind more than I would run away.
Dan's right in saying that there aren't a lot of amazing Deadeye players. To be honest, I would have had Bailey Fritz in that before this final series. I would have
well, I didn't know.
Todd Marshall's another one.
Yeah.
I guess finals kind of exposing that, but there aren't a lot of players where you're like, this is 110% going in. But I guess that's the nature of the game now. I don't know why, but it's not as good a kicks as we were in the past.
On a positive note,
Yes,
Stephen May was spectacular.
he was.
He was really good.
He kept Kern one goal.
Yeah.
And
He just couldn't do it on his own, unfortunately.
correct. And we have to talk about Max Gawn. Now, he was injured. He had a broken toe. So I guess any criticism is really harsh because he was so enormous.
Do you know which toe?
I do not know which toe, but I do know. Do you know which toe? If I said it was if you were going to tell me which toe, that's why I was like, okay. I unfortunately don't know. I'm not a medical practitioner.
Sitting outside the surgery.
No, I wasn't waiting for him.
Doing the hard yards really for this podcast, Tom.
I apologise. I should have got Marcus on instead of you. Then he would have told me. But anyway, Max Gawn.
I've got him on the phone now.
He was bullied, and this is not the first time, Fletch. But Mark Pitney and Tom McConnell to a lesser extent, at every single contest, they put a body on. Now, a lot of it wasn't legal. I'll be honest, a lot of it wasn't legal. I thought he should have been punished more for it. Every time as the ball was coming, he gets a little push. And it wasn't all legal, but Port Adelaide have exposed him in the past. And look, the toe injury could have absolutely played into his mind, but we've seen it happen while he's not injured. So I'd love to hear your boys' thoughts. Is this something he needs to fix? Because this is not the first time.
Well, they win the game. It doesn't really worry you, does it?
No.
His first final's sensational. He's the best player in the ground. Easy.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, Cox and Cameron are not a physical presence.
So are we talking ruck contest or a marking contest?
Oh, both, but mainly marking contest.
Yeah. Well, he's been swallowing them. He has been in this season. It's just that he got beaten.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. My big issue is he's such a unique person or unique player in the AFL. There's no one like him. No. You know, you can go to a Petrarca and say there's someone like a Petrarca. There's someone like an Oliver. There's someone like a May and someone like a Lever. There's no one like Max Gawn. Now, he's getting older. Are they wasting away his years? I'm starting to think they are.
In terms of they're not giving him...
Well, and wasting away is a bit harsh because there's 17 teams that have failed and only one team succeeds every year. Yeah. So really with this list and what he can bring to the table, he's only probably got 2 years at most of this sort of level of play.
Footy, yeah.
Have they almost wasted the last 2 years with not going out straight sets and not making the grand final, at least making the grand final? And when they lose him, they're going to lose such a big piece. Can they keep this rolling on? You know what I mean?
It's a personal thing. I think it's just, they have been ordinary and they haven't made the most of the players that they've had around him. Like you say, he's a massive... And having good ruckman like that is so rare.
Yep.
There are only, on one hand, you can count the great elite ruckman in the league. And the fact that they have two is quite astounding.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm concerned. I reckon it seems like they're a bit concerned about his durability because they brought Grundy in. I reckon
they
brought Grundy in to rest Gawn, and they weren't able to do that. So I reckon they're a bit worried about durability because you're right.
It's a hard position to play.
He's going to be one of the best ruckmen of our generation, like this in the decade or last whatever. You're right. He cannot. He has to make another grand final. I think Melbourne have to with the list they've got and with him being so good. I don't think.
But they've got 2 years to do that.
They've got to make minimum prelim. I'm going to make another grand final.
But they still are there. They still are trying to set up around him.
Yeah.
And like we're talking before, they need to fix up their forward structure. But they've got a lot of the pieces there. They just need to.
Their team's good enough.
They need to get a few players in, and they need to tweak. They just need to polish their game plan and figure out exactly how they
their team's good enough, Fletch. I thought they were one of the form sides heading to finals. So I guess it's a surprising team going straight sets because I honestly thought they were one of the better sides coming into finals.
Well, one thing that finals has showed, we're going to move on to Port very soon, is that you have a weakness. It gets exposed. And their weakness is scoring. The other team, Port Adelaide, is defence. And if you have one weakness that's really, really poor, you just get absolutely battered from it.
It's funny, the team that scores more normally wins.
That's usually how it works.
But they can defend
more
the ball a lot. You muppets.
That didn't click with Pledge.
No, I knew what you were saying. How did Port Adelaide lose then, you muppets? Because they score a lot, don't they?
Yeah. Well, they didn't in that game, did
they? They can't defend. I mean, it's a nice little case study, isn't it? But that one team can defend. You're a guest, buddy. You're the guest.
Second in command. Really, before we move on from Demons, they've got pick 4 or pick 5 from Fremantle, and Brodie Grundy going out this year. Obviously, Brodie Grundy said, I'm leaving. Can they get a forward in? Is there any forward you could see them targeting?
Have to.
I'm
Like
not
a
sure
key forward.
Who's a forward?
There isn't many on the market,
There's
though.
none on the market. They want to go. I guess they have to go to the draft, try and get one.
Yeah, you can't draft someone.
Not yet.
But he won't be
Not-
good. He
not
won't be
if we're
good. He
going
won't be
for
good next
Maxi
year. I
Gawn.
guess. He
That's what I
won't be
mean.
next year.
Like,
Yeah.
You won't need someone now.
JVR will be good in 2 years, but he's
Yeah,
not.
he
He's
will
not
be.
next year.
He
Yeah.
will be good in
He
2
will be
years.
good in 2 years.
He will.
Yeah,
you're
trying
right.
to think about a club that has an excess. Phil Thorpe from Adelaide.
Oh, I saw today Luke
It's
Bruce
Fields
was
McCall.
linked. Luke Bruce was linked. Now I'm not sure how that's key for, but I saw that link today on my socials.
To Melbourne.
Well, at least he's a goal kicker.
He kicked goals and he's accurate too.
Yeah. He's very similar to Bailey Fridge, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, a
he's
bit
tad
smaller. Bit
yeah,
smaller,
yeah.
yeah.
The same sort of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
Like-
a bit more of a lead up small, not a crumbing small.
Yeah, yeah.
He crumbs it pretty well.
he's very
and
very good,
accurate.
Don't worry, but
He's just
it
super
doesn't solve their key for. But he definitely kicks goals for him, and they need goals. So I don't mind that.
It's tough how they get that done because he's a vice captain of Hawthorn, so it's big. That's a big.
Problem is, I think surely at some point, I was surprised he didn't leave last year. That he's an older player, he can't afford to wait for Hawthorn to be good. So I wouldn't be surprised
he's
if he's.
past
Yeah,
it.
I
I
don't
wouldn't be
think.
surprised if he's like, let me out, boys.
Yeah,
But-
I reckon he's just got that much. Already that many premierships. Like don't really.
He's a
need to leave.
loyal player, too.
That's what I reckon.
So it'll be that aspect.
Yeah.
But it'd be a good get. So you don't know how they get it done. There's no real excess forwards, is there?
No, it's not.
Might be a Chol.
Troll.
Not a bad idea.
Just
It's another
someone.
body. It's another
It's just,
body.
it could just be another Ben Brown. Just another like he's a forward. But he's
Give us
that
12
good.
months.
I really feel like they never took proper advantage of Ben Brown because when he left North Melbourne, he was a
He's
goal
kicking
kicking
like
machine.
80 goals, man.
Not that many, but he was kicking a lot of
He's
goals.
getting close to 80. He was. I
I don't think he ever won a Coleman, so
Yes, didn't he?
I don't think so.
Ben Brown.
He just kicked lots of goals.
Well, I know but he was very accurate too.
I could be wrong.
Very accurate.
Yeah,
goal kicker.
yeah, but yeah, my point is they never made the most of this
correct.
star goal kicker that they had.
A lot of tension between you two. All right, we'll move on to Port.
No, you're right. No, you're right. There was
Sexual tension.
God.
That was uncalled
he
for.
kicked 287 goals in 130 games. So that's not too bad. But yeah, no Colemans. Fair enough. There you go.
Fair enough. Port can't defend for shit. Let's be honest here. And
Yeah, quite the opposite to Melbourne. Really,
Yeah,
just
it's funny.
they're good foils for each other.
Asava Radaglia is meant to be going there. Chris Scott said we've put a lot of time and effort into him. We don't want him to go. This is the most bullshit ever that Chris Scott has ever talked.
I reckon he might be. Yeah,
I've asked Riley's opinion on this. So can I read out Riley's quote on this Chris Scott stuff?
Yeah, you can. Yep.
So I just asked Riley, can you provide a direct quote for the podcast?
Quote. Or
Quote. Sorry. He said, so I should have got this up. Disappointing that Asava is still wanting to leave as he was given an important role in the team, which he wanted at the end of last season. But it's a business. It is a business, and if there is a better offer elsewhere, I can't blame him. And I asked about Scott's comments. Scott's comments were bizarre, basically saying Asava wasn't good enough to play at times, but he picked him anyway. I can't imagine the comments helped Asava want to hang around.
No, but it probably helped his trade value for Geelong. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
think he's-
we want him on our list. This is a player that we're looking to have in our list.
you're gonna have to pay for him.
Yeah.
You're right. It's probably a trade ploy, but
which is why, like, talking about what draft pick is he worth, like on talent, like he's not worth that much. But Geelong want him. Like Chris Scott
Yeah.
said, that they inverted commas. You can't see it in the podcast, obviously, but they want him. It's hard to get
Key backs.
key
Yeah.
backs, key anything
Key
really.
anything.
There's
someone
not that many of them.
They've got one player over one defender over 190 centimeters. I
Yeah.
heard that on SCN today.
And
That's
they are-
ridiculous.
They are right. Like Chris Scott is right. They put a lot of time and effort into him. He's matured a lot
This year,
this year. That's what I mean.
the concerning thing is this was coincidentally Geelong's worst defensive season in a long time. And
But he
played a
didn't
lot of
play
games.
that much this year. He
He
would have
was
played
injured.
12 games.
Nah, more than that. No. He played more than that.
It didn't feel like he played that many games, to be honest with you.
quick time.
No more than 16, surely.
Oh, okay. 16, I'd probably give you. Let me have a look. Sava quickly.
What's 12 to 16? That's pretty quick.
But what I would say is, it probably is a trade. My only thing is with Chris Scott saying it is they've made a living. He played 16. Is they've kind of made a living on getting guys from free agency and trades.
As in Geelong.
Yes.
I think they drafted him, didn't he?
No, but like players like Isaac Smith, like getting like Jeremy Cameron.
Oh, praying
so I
Lollipops.
find his comments a little bit hypocritical when they've really made the most of free agency, and as they should. But
If they go for Baz this year, let's just say he's picked 20. That's what they're thinking, that Asava is picked 20. When the Dogs turn around and go, we want pick 1 or 2 for friggin' Geelong because you're going to get Bailey Smith over Savo. Savo's pick 20.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
Geelong is not going to do that.
It'll set the market for him, yeah.
Sava's not a first round, I reckon.
But he's getting a 5-year deal,
like 40.
and everyone else that's got a 5-year deal that's been traded
worth first
is
round.
worth first
Yeah.
round.
But yeah, do you like them getting a Sava? Because my only thing is, him and Aaliyah are the same player.
Yeah, I agree.
Just a worse version of Aaliyah.
Yeah, probably.
He's not the May Lever sort of
Who's
duo.
the yeah, you're right. For example, Moore and Murphy is that Murphy usually takes the number one. It usually takes the main. Moore kind of plays off a bit. Harris Andrews, Jack Payne. Harris Andrews this year played more off. Payne's been the main guy. Aaliyah and Asava are just the same guy.
Grimes Lawson, I get Richmond mentioned there.
The only thing I'd
Who was the other
combat
tall?
question that
Grimes.
to you.
Grimes, yeah.
Oh, Grimes second tall. There you go.
The only thing I'd say to that is, who else do you go for? Like you have to now change it. It's just kind of like you have
It's just
to.
a small and
Yeah.
Ben Mackay's already. Well, he's going to Sydney. Is that right?
Essendon or Sydney, 1 or 2.
One of them, yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
It's hard to know
Has to be
because
Sydney,
And they want Zerk Thatcher as well, and he's
Yeah.
definitely not number one.
he's a third tall.
He's a third.
He's a third tall. But
So-
it's like you just can't
It feels
choose.
like they're getting him because they're like
They were committed to him last year, so they have to do it this year.
Yeah, it's strange because I think it was David King said if you bring in B grade, you're committing to being B grade. Then again, look at Collingwood. You're telling Bobby Hill was A grade? No,
Olive
he was
Markov.
Olive Markov.
Yeah.
Richmond,
McStay we haven't seen the best of, but a lot of players. I don't agree with that statement. Is that because you're feeling a need, and if their reason is they suck defensively. To bring in a guy that plays that role, I don't necessarily think they have to be an A grader.
No.
But it's also
Then they'll be able to play that role.
correct.
That's pretty much it.
Correct. But I think the values in Beholder, Asaba for 700, not great. Asaba for 400, all of a sudden pretty good deal.
Surely it's 400 if you're getting 5 years from a guy that's literally played 1 year in defence.
He hasn't. I would love to see how many games he's played in a season before this year.
And the second thing, no, we shouldn't talk about Geelong anymore because we
we're
don't give more
bored here.
airtime to him.
Well, back onto the game. But
I told you have to shut down the midfield, and they shut down the midfield. You were arguing with me last week that they
But
should
they
do
didn't tag anyone. We wouldn't go all night. But I mean, it was concerning that Butters had 7 touched half time. Rosie had 9.
Yeah, but it was just it's all on them. Like if they don't do anything, they don't win it at the source, they don't win it post stoppage, then nothing happens for Port Adelaide. Mm-hmm. They have maximised it. They've got every bit of drop of water out of this cloth of this list, I think. And there's not much left in that.
So they've done really well this year.
Yes.
Considering.
Yeah. 13, if you take out the 13 wins, if you judge them on their losses and take out the 13 wins and judge them on their losses, they're actually quite poor. 60-point losses everywhere. 71 to
Collingwood. Round
Collingwood.
2, yeah.
Then Carlton later in the year, 60-point loss. I know they had a lot of people out. Then they lost to Collingwood a couple of weeks later. Like, some poor losses here and
They
there.
were riding a wave a bit, and that
Yes.
wave dropped before finals and sort of made it hard for them to pick it back up again.
It did.
Now
Now,
they say you have to be peaking at the right time, and they peaked way too
they
early.
peaked a bit early, didn't they? Ollie Wind is the one I want to talk about. Looks like Travis Boak.
Gets another year.
Travis Boak, if he gets another year,
He's got another year, I reckon.
so he won't play much AFL next year. Like, he can't. So I think that's kind of like you'll play mostly VFL, Sanford, whatever, that's fine. Ollie Wine's the one. He won a bloody Brownlow medal playing inside midfield, and 2 years later he's playing on a bloody wing. Ridiculous.
It's like the All Australians.
He actually literally is.
Years gone by, this year's obviously different.
Playing the midfield means he has to be able to play on the wing because all Australians said so.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, I understand that Rosie, Butters, Horn Francis, that's your future. But are their midfield too offensive? Because that second quarter was so alarming. They got mauled in clearance,
Yeah,
Dan.
you have to be able to walk the line of preparing yourself for the future and also taking advantage of the now. Like you say, he's a Brownlow medal winner. Mm-hmm. And Hawthorn did the same thing with Tom Mitchell.
Mm-hmm. Drove him out.
And just, drove him out of the club. And it's like, but this guy's a Brownlow medal winner. He's an absolute superstar, and you're not taking advantage of that. They're pushing for, like, what, they finished second, third?
Equal second. They finished third.
Yeah.
Second,
You're pushing to win the grand final, and you're not taking advantage of your best players. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Mm-hmm. But they should have been doing it all year. Anyway.
I reckon I'm on the opposite here there.
You reckon?
I reckon they're taking advantage of all their best players. As in the midfield group, they're taking advantage of those 4 or 5 guys in terms of Wine. I'll probably say Wines and then the other 3 in terms of JHF and then Butters Rosie.
And Drew's kind of gone. It seems like Drew's kind of gone past Wines. Well, it seems like that anyway.
Yeah,
I don't agree, but it seems
maybe.
they're playing. I'd love to see the CBA attendance numbers. I can almost guarantee Drew would have had more than Wines on the weekend.
Yeah,
Willem Drew's playing. Willem Drew plays a lot of midfield, man.
Yeah, LMK on that one.
Pardon? I will let you know in the next 10 seconds.
Right,
I reckon last week Drew would have played more minutes because he tagged against Neil, whereas this week I reckon Wines would take him more or a bit more balance because there's no role for him there.
I just think that probably more with Rosie than the other guys because JHS is a bit of a bull and Butters is obviously an absolute superstar.
Yeah,
but I feel like he should be more of an outside runner. He's a good wing. Throw him forward. Ollie Wines is an inside mid.
Yeah.
That's what he is, and they're not using him as that. And you want a Brownlow, like Tom said, you want a Brownlow doing that. So why?
I think
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, correct. And you're spot on. In the end, the last 2 weeks, obviously it's out of 100, literally whatever one's got, the other one filled up the number to get to 100. So last week was 88, 80. It was 85-15 or whatever. This week was more Wines than Drew. It was 65-35.
Yeah, so Drew
so
never
basically
rolled.
One of them in there at all times.
Yeah,
I still think they're wasting Wines. I think he's just too slow to be a winger. He's not a winger.
yeah, I totally
Rest
get
him
that there.
forward. I don't mind him resting. He's a big boy. Maybe rest him forward, kick a few goals. I'm not saying he can play forward, but I'd rather see him in a forward line than a wing.
I think they're trying to do with Rosie what you're talking about there. They're trying to play the Dusty role, whereas he starts at stoppage, but he's really a forward, and someone comes up from the forward line to play as a mid, and he just rolls into the midfield, rolls into forward line. The ball gets down there and makes something work with his talent. That's what Dusty did for 3 or 4 years.
It's one of the most important positions on the ground now. Teams who have players like that,
it's impossible to guard. When they you start changing over with defenders, you have to have communication there and like that, and then it becomes a mismatch with teams that aren't organised, and then you just get goals out of it with the class that they have. I just think that Butters wants to get forward, Horn Francis wants to get forward. They all have got the early draft pick talent to do that, so they've just got to work at the balance of when they go forward and who goes forward and who doesn't. I think Rosie, it's a bit of the Melbourne situation a few years ago, where Petrarca just says, I'm the forward, Clayton Oliver, you're the mid. Yeah. And Rosie says the same, I'm more the forward goal kicking. You can play more as a midfielder, get up and down the field. So they've just got to iron out those kinks a little bit.
Yeah. So they are young.
They've
got a long way to go. And Ken Hinkley will now be guiding them through that as well.
Well, these next 2 years.
That's not interesting.
These next 2 years.
We talked about it, that August, we love the way they handled it, the admin team, in terms of saying, here's a date, don't talk to us about it until the date, instead of the speculative.
It's a bad date.
But bad date.
Yeah.
It should have been post-finals. Because
August is the worst. Either make it in bloody June or end of September.
Yeah, it gave them no chance. It was, by that time they were playing finals, they were looking down the barrel of going deep into finals, which obviously went poorly, but you can't sack him.
No.
And we already knew if it was another coach, it'd be fine. If it was a new, a Craig McRae, it would be perfect. That'd be fine because he's a new coach. We don't know if he can consistently win during the season. Ken Hinkley's been there for 10 years already. We know he can consistently win during the season. He just hasn't made a grand final. Hasn't won a prelim. That's the bit we don't know about yet, and we still don't know that. And he's got another 2 years on his deal.
I think if he signed in June, it'd be less of a story. Just because when they were winning their 13 games, you can't not sign him. I think it'd be...
Yeah.
It would still be a story, but it'd be less of one. That, in fact, you sign him in August, you may as well wait a month.
Yeah,
and then you would see him go out straight sets.
I respect the power for sticking to their guns about saying this is the date and this is when we're doing it. But you're right. They should have been like, all right, well, we're on fire and we're going to make the decision now because the decision should be the same later.
Correct. Yeah.
But they should have waited till after final season now be talking about it.
Probably the best way to do it, isn't it?
Because we just know that we didn't know what we knew beforehand. Top 4 can get us there, but can he win us a final?
Do you think there would have been, if they hadn't signed him pre-finals, they went out straight sets anyway?
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
But there would have been that thing amongst the playing group of...
Without a doubt.
Of we're playing for our
the
coaches'
media definitely. I'm not
job.
Sure.
I think players would as well. I think the players honestly would as well.
Yeah,
the
media doesn't matter.
We're playing for a coach
between the players' ears here.
I honestly agree with Dan. I think the players wait, we might not be our coach in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think uncertainty would
We're
play
playing
in
for our
minds.
coach's job, and
I agree.
Especially on some of the young stars that they have.
Mm-hmm. I agree, 100%. Just before we move on to whatever you got next, Ollie Lord, I really like him. It's a really
Yeah.
random one.
Yeah.
He was very good last week against Brisbane in a loss, and he was very good again on the weekend. I really like him, and I think he's a skinny, but they've got their key forward there.
They
Him and Marsh will be a nice one for a long time.
they delisted Brian Tickle, is it?
Teakle, yeah.
Teakle. Delisted him today, and then Mitch Georgiades is injured but looking to go back to West Coast probably.
Oh, really?
Is
Well, we can't get a
He
much.
re-signed.
I didn't think he'd get a
Well,
role.
apparently he hasn't re-signed, but he's going to re-sign. That's what I heard. That was a while ago.
He can't get much of a role there with all the forwards. So and he's from West Coast, so why don't you go there? And he's got the knee, so I think he's a good pickup. All right, we're gonna do a Gridley. Is that what you said?
Gridley,
Yeah, Gridley.
Gridley.
After Jordan Ridley, and then the grid. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
So
He's
there's
the funniest guest we've ever had on the podcast.
if you don't know it, it's like
A lot of them go down like lead balloons, but
it's a square of 9, 3-3, and then you have 3 on the top half. What was
yeah,
that?
so
Tony?
they're like
It's like a
categories.
tic-tac.
that
It's like a tic-tac-toe grid.
Yeah, okay. Say it like that.
You just got to fill the grid. Yeah.
You got to feel it. So we got on the going down on the left hand side. We got Geelong, Richmond, and no finals. No finals. And then the top we got Brownlow medalists, All Australian, 200 plus games.
So for the listeners'
Yeah, so we have to describe
image,
this.
we will pick a Brownlow medalist for Geelong, Richmond, no grand finals, an All Australian for Geelong, Richmond, no grand finals, and 200
Basically,
games.
it's basically to try and find. You're trying to combine this one. You have to combine the two topics.
GridleyGame.com. Go give it a go. It's a bit of fun.
It is very good. It's hard to explain on a podcast
Footy
format. but-
grid is also very similar. Anyway, Fletcher, let's get started.
Well, a Geelong Brownlow medalist. We're trying to go for the most unique, aren't we?
Yeah,
too?
that is also
That's
big.
another thing. So we're trying to get the least percentage that someone else has guessed.
You don't want the obvious one. Problem is, I'm terrible with history, so I'm going to name obvious ones.
Yeah, I will go with Greg Williams.
See, that's
Actually won
don't
it
know.
at Carlton, but played at Geelong, so is
did you
eligible.
Did you Bartel?
The Diesel.
Bartel didn't win a Brownlow, did he?
Yeah, he did.
He
but
did.
he'll be-
I would have said Bartel. That's the only one that
Yes.
knows Bartel and Ablett.
3.1% selected.
That's not bad.
Only two I had were Bartel and Ablett. So they're going to be like massive. So don't bother.
Yeah, I
Don't
had
bother.
part too.
I just don't, Dan's very good with his history, so Dan will probably
Yeah,
beat
I'll
me
do
here.
a bit
But
of this. Yeah.
And then a Richmond Brownlow medalist that you don't. So we've got Dusty.
Cochin
Cochin.
isn't really one, to be honest.
Oh,
Well, he would be eligible, but yeah, that's a bit rough.
Richo. Oh no, Cooney won that. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh, on the wing, Richo on the wing. All right, don't get me started.
Richard Brownlow, I don't have. See, I'm terrible. Mine are all going to be new ones.
Trying to think of that one.
So I'm going back in time a bit here.
Back in time.
Yeah.
Tommy, think of an All Australian for Geelong. That's unusual. Should I freaking Riley on here instead of you?
Yeah.
I'll go Ian Stewart for the Richmond Brownlow. He won 3.
See,
actually.
who the hell is that?
He won 3. He won 2 at St Kilda.
Who is that?
Ian Stewart. He's a 3-time Brownlow medalist. He's a superstar. Tom. You should go and say hello to him.
I will.
Yeah, I'm sure he's on Instagram or something.
On socials. When was your Australian?
Ian with
How do you spell Ian?
I can't spell it.
with an E.
Oh my god.
There you go.
What was it?
There you go.
Yeah, 12%.
Okay, I should know that.
How many Richmond Brownlow medalists? Who do you reckon has the most Brownlow medalists as a team?
That could be
Not
the best
Richmond.
ever.
Yeah. Kevin
Carlton
Carlton.
was the first thing you have made. But how long's your Australian team been around for?
Mid-90s, I think.
I would have a clue.
I don't know. Because they had like a... I don't know what... There was a team before that. It was called something different, but...
Oh, I'll say Mark Blitzers. That'll be that'll be a really
Okay.
obvious one. Would like a Darren Milburn make one? I don't know.
What about...
No,
like,
who the hell is
don't get it
that?
wrong. I don't want to get it wrong, so don't say that.
what about like a...
I don't think Gitch.
Andrew Mackey, do you reckon he got one? Or a...
See, we're guessing here, but
Andrew Aki would have got one.
Yep. I'm a big fan of David Wojcinski. I don't think he ever would have got one.
no, he wasn't good enough to win one.
Something like Matthew
you're not-
Stokes. Something
See,
like that.
Darren Milburn's played for Victoria.
You're not cheating, Tom.
But I know I said this before. He has made an Australian. Put that in. I put that in before I searched it up. So I put that
Who'd
in.
you say?
Darren Milburn. I said that before I searched it up. So I only just searched it up then. Darren Milburn.
And if he didn't get one, would he?
He 2007. Well, then I didn't want you to get it wrong. So that's why I searched. That's why I double checked myself.
I'm proud of you, Tom.
Wow.
What is it?
1.6%.
Bang! WC!
Jesus.
And so I didn't.
Sorry for the headphones.
Sorry.
I don't need to contribute now. Maybe with that.
We've got to get someone that's has won a Brownlow but played no finals. That is going to be difficult.
Would have been Crips until this weekend.
Could go Fletcher Bulldog man Tony Liberatore.
Ooh.
No, he kicked the prelim final where he...
Grand finals.
The final in general.
No,
grand
grand finals.
final.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he should have made one, but old mate didn't. 5%.
Yeah, that's not bad.
We'll take
That's a
it.
good one.
Take that.
That's a good
Take
one.
it. All Australians from Richmond and no grand finals.
So we'll go from Richmond.
Yep.
Now, there's a bit of a cheaty way of doing. It's not cheaty, but they don't have to have happened at the same time. So they could get an All Australian at one team, and then as long as they've done both. Question: Robbie Tarrant ever win a All Australian? He was good.
At North Melbourne.
He was good.
Yeah.
Was he ever that good? Don't know.
They finished high up in the ladder too.
Yeah, they had a few good years there where he was primed.
Oh, let me proof check your work.
He's such a cheat.
No, I don't want to get it wrong. Dan said it before I searched up, so I think it's legal.
Robbie Tarrant.
Because I don't want to. I don't.
For no grand finals, as a bit of a sneaky.
Didn't do it anyway. Didn't get one.
Brett Deledio
That's a pretty.
didn't play a grand final,
Pretty obvious one though.
but he's not in Richmond.
That'll be high percentage.
Do you reckon?
It's the first one I probably think of.
All right, who do you have?
I don't have any.
Did you think of Brett Deledio? Was that the first one that you thought?
All Australian. I'll be one of, just because Richmond was no good when he was around.
I think most sort of teams.
So trying to
Who's been who made the All Australian team last year?
Essendon ones. What's some Essendon ones? That Essendon players, like a Parish. Did he make All Australian last year? Merritt's an obvious one.
Parrish made it this year, so
No, he didn't.
No, he
Parish.
no, Merritt did. Pardon me.
Merritt did.
Merritt did.
I feel like there was a lot
Dustin
of-
Fletcher.
No,
Played
he
in one
played.
grand
Oh yeah,
final.
he's that old. He's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
2005-ish, 6-ish.
Why have you got an
like,
Essendon like this?
Yeah.
No, go for an interstate club because
Um,
then there'll be less people going. Like Essendon, lots
like
of
a
people go from.
Freo. But
what about like a Daniel Merritt ever win one? He definitely wasn't.
Sauce Merit.
Yeah.
Big Sauce.
He would be 200 games and no grand finals.
That's a pretty good one.
Who do you want? Daniel.
Daniel Merritt. Yeah.
Two several different categories. Big
Big
Sauce.
Sauce. Yeah.
So Essendon. What is it?
0.2%.
Oh boy, Dan.
I'm bowing.
So
No grand final All Australian.
Brett Deledio. That's my only answer. That's the one I've got.
yeah, let's go lids. It'll be like 15%, I guess.
Who's a Richmond player?
Oh, it was very good. 0.7%.
Yeah, you can get
Lids.
stuff, Tom. You can get
Okay,
stuff.
fair
It's
enough.
because he'll win the Richmond one.
We've already used him.
Yeah.
Well done, Dan.
Thank you.
He knows the game.
Did you just? I thought I was having my 1%. He's going 0-0.
Not my first radio here.
Oh, wow.
So Richmond player All Australian, and then we got Geelong and Richmond 200 games.
I'm gonna make this quick, by the way. I was just got for an hour and a half. This podcast.
All right. Churn a few out.
200 games for Geelong then, Tommy.
I mean, Enright's obvious.
Brad Ottens.
Ottens. That's a bit of a niche.
You could
one.
use him for either. He played for Richmond.
Andrew Mackey. We said before. He played 200 games.
I would have thought so. Yeah, he was there for a long time.
Brad Ottens, 2%, and he's going to Geelong, not Richmond. I feel like Richmond's had a few more players. Chris Sharon, did he play 200 games?
No,
played
he was in
one.
trouble a lot.
Joel
Yeah.
Bowden.
Who?
Yeah,
Joel Bowden.
he was
He
he was the reason that the deliberate rush
Gasper.
behind came in. Darren Gasper's a nice
A
one.
few names there. Do you reckon Joel Bowden was all
Greg
Australian?
Chivendale.
Oh, that's a name. Pull that one from the bottom of the bag.
Sure, he
Gotcha.
didn't play 200 games.
3% for Joel Bowden.
Really?
Sorry.
Nice.
There you go.
About that.
Nice.
All Australian. I don't want to make it too obvious at all. It's tricky.
Richmond All Australian. There's some real obvious ones, but
Yeah.
Basher Hooley. That's not
nah,
really
that's pretty
obvious.
obvious.
Back when
I
they
reckon
sucked.
Did Wayne Campbell ever win an All Australian? He was there for a long time. He's up at Gold Coast now. Anyway, moving on. On the board up there, or at least on the movie.
Got the obvious one, Dusty and stuff like that, but
The Dusty would be like 50%. Like, you don't want to say him. We have to name one rogue in a minute.
I reckon Robbie Tarrant. I reckon him. Or did he ever do it? Did you just check?
no, he missed it.
Ah, bugger. That's
No,
right.
never did it.
I was going to just stick with my guns.
We have to say someone easy. I
Yep.
think we can't spend too long on this.
Have a guess. I want. Wayne Campbell. I'm sticking with it. I have no idea. Come on. Was he?
Yes,
He was.
He was.
Thank you very much.
Rarity score of 31. What does that mean?
I think that means we've done
I
a
don't
good
play
job.
enough to know if that's good or not, but I thought they were pretty good.
Rarity score of 31. There you go.
Anyway, I hope you listeners enjoyed that. Otherwise, we'll be leaving a timestamp that you can skip this whole section.
Dan was the right person to do it on because Dan's history is a lot better than
I didn't get
Corey's,
those
and definitely
names.
Mark's next week. So, well done, Hoops.
Thanks,
All right, we're going to run through some names really quickly. A few already mentioned. Jack Savani, 2 years.
How long have we been talking about that? Goodness. Time runs away from you. Anyway, moving on.
Jack Savani got 2 years. I'm assuming that's good.
Yeah.
That really shocks me.
Really?
Yeah, I would have thought that. I understand like his family's deep rooted in the
doesn't
club and
surprise me.
everything, but
I would think he was
After-
shocked. I thought he was shopped
Yeah.
around a little bit.
give
Looked,
himself some time.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have him at Richmond, to be honest. No Jack Rewalt. He would have slotted in just nicely.
Harry Mackay comes back in. That's obvious. You have to do it. Paid him a lot of years and a lot of money. You can't not play him pretty much. So I think we can leave that one there. And then HR, Tommy, you want to talk about that a little bit?
I wanted the floor. I'll try and make this quick.
You got 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes. Okay. I won't
started.
use 5 minutes. So. Okay.
Tom
HIA. How Jacob Wiedering and to a lesser extent Patrick Cripps don't get checked is absolutely Dan's time is beyond me, especially Wiedering. Now
Yeah, Wiedering.
he looked like Fletch. You did a bit of martial arts fighting back in the day,
Yeah, don't mess with him.
but he looked like he got rocked in a UFC fight the way he stumbled back.
He was bad for a couple of minutes.
And if Joel Smith doesn't pick him up, he's still down. He's still on the ground,
Yeah.
and he has to get checked at that point. It is ridiculous that the AFL have ticked this off, and he got checked after the game. If you're bound to get checked after the game, you should be getting checked during the game.
Oh, I totally agree with you. He was, even once he got up, he was light on his
groggy.
feet.
He
Yeah.
was genuinely dazed.
Yeah, he was Dan coming out of the Diamond Creek Hotel last week.
He-
I was days. It was about 7:30.
7:30 at
It
night.
was a big day. We
let's
started early.
But
No, it
honestly,
was shocking.
I don't get it. And Patrick Cripps, that wasn't a big knock, but he was bleeding the whole day.
But I can't understand the package. It wasn't much in the package.
No, that one I'm happy to.
You've all had a blood nose.
Yeah, I'm happy. It was still. I was under the impression any head knock is
Yeah.
you start to get checked, but that wasn't as bad. Wiedering had to be, and how there's been no media coverage around it is just like Port
You know
got fined
why?
a lot of money for the same incident.
You know why there's no media
Because
coverage?
Carlton.
No,
and
because
they're
it's a
playing.
prelim.
They're playing.
Yeah, if they were out, then there'd be more media
They
coverage.
couldn't afford after the Maynard stuff last year. They couldn't afford some off-field stuff clouding to build up to prelim finals. That's honestly why I think there's no.
Plus, if the decision got overturned and he then had to miss this week because of a
It's
concussion,
uproar.
then it'd just be shocking.
It's too simplistic to say if he gets checked 20 minutes at last score, they don't win. But
Yeah,
I think you'd ask most people would say Carlton won't win that game if he gets checked.
He is the key back there.
Like he had an
it's a pretty big if.
unreal
Pretty
game,
big
and on Corey would hate me if I don't say it. On the podcast last week, Corey did say that if Wiedering takes 8 marks, they win. He took exactly 8 marks and they won. So Corey wanted me to say that. Why not, Corey? But yeah, for me, I think he had to get checked, and it's a little bit sus. Like, if that's a bad player, or like no one's bad in the AFL, but if that's a lesser known player,
Yeah, role player.
there's no way they don't check him. In my opinion.
You're not wrong, and especially the fact they fined Port Adelaide and a lot of money,
Yeah.
$100,000.
A lot of money.
It's not it wasn't like a 10 grand sum on the wrist. This is a
No,
proper whack. So,
It's one of those. I sent the message there, and it's keep going with that tone.
yep. And you got no bigger statement than a prelim final.
Yeah, but it does. You do think about the consequences that it does hold. Like it's not what it was a home and away game for Port Adelaide, and that sort of, and they were over the hill by that stage too.
But in 10 years' time, if he's got CTE, he's not going to sue him and say, "Oh, you should have not let me play a prelim." Like,
it's funny, like some of the people who are saying they're suing. Like now, I'm really like pro like health. Like we need to look out for people's heads and stuff. I have some opinions about that, but like Max Rook is one of the big ones, and he just like went in head first in every contest that was available to him.
So, yeah, I mean, the
And
way he
he's
played
like,
kind of...
I'm sore. I get head concussions and head problems, and it's like, yeah, of course you do. Like,
You're one of the like toughest players the AFL's going to see. Like, no, I mean, understandable that you're going to get.
he was a scary man, Max
He
Rook.
would, and he real rugged.
I
Like,
wonder if he would have been a good one for our Gridley. Anyway, moving on.
but no, I think it had to be checked, and I think it's a. Dan made a good point that I think it's a great statement they made with Port Adelaide. I think they had to keep going, and I just think he had to be checked. But in the end, he won him a game.
Yep. There you go. All right. Prelim
Time this on,
final.
that was 4 minutes, so well done.
Well done, good on you, Tommy.
Prelim review.
Preview. Did you say review?
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Preview.
Preview. Do you want to start with your boys, or do you want to leave them to the end?
No,
Are you going to this game, Tom?
No.
You turned down tickets. That's right. That's
Okay, this is an inside joke of cricket. Basically, I'll be really quick here. I obviously tried to get tickets. Well, basically, Chloe, Corey's lovely girlfriend, said, Tommy, do you want to come to the game? Because I've been to a few games with them. But I said, no, sorry, I want to go with Andy. So I said, no, I can't. So she said, okay, all G. So basically, she made it sound like I was the only one going. And then I find out, and obviously, unfortunately, do not get tickets because I'm not a member. Corey tells me at cricket today that Chloe was saying for you and Andy to both come. So you missed out on tickets. We would have got you both tickets. I said I'd love to go, but Andy and I want to go with Andy. She could have told me we'll take you both. She didn't say that.
I'm sorry to this is the first Andy's hearing of this.
Yeah.
Be quite disheartened on the drive to work tomorrow.
Chloe could have said, Tommy, we'll take you both. And I would have said, yes, please. I waited. I had an errand to run, so I waited in the car for half an hour, and that bloody loading screen in the queue for tickets never got let in. That would have saved me so much effort.
Someone told me the tickets ran out in 10 minutes.
And I was there for 35 minutes.
And you were on for half hour.
Yep.
So they just kept you going.
So, thank you. I wasn't going to tell Andy, but I ended up telling him. So, yes, we'll go in chronological order to answer your question. We'll talk about the Pies-Giants game first, I reckon. Fletch?
No, wrong.
What are we playing?
Oh, didn't work.
What are you playing?
Everywhere I look around, DeConing's everywhere, leaving bodies on the ground.
There you go. We're going to talk about Carlton first.
You couldn't have just left that until when we started talking about Carlton?
Nah, I couldn't be bothered
Take a
holding it
charge.
anymore. Holding it on my phone anymore. So,
Tom DeConing was fantastic last
He
week.
was
very-
unreal
yeah.
last week, yeah.
We should mention that about Carlton last week because we spoke a lot about the Demons, but Carlton were
Emily will not be a happy gal
well, it was
if
more
talk
that we
about
speak about
Pies.
losers, and then we speak about both teams that are still in it.
Yes.
that does make sense.
Yeah.
That does
We
make
did,
sense.
we
So-
did, that's the format we've been doing.
Let's be honest here. Does Carlton have a chance at the Gabba?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, actually, I take that back.
I'm scared. Absolutely.
They will either win by 2 points or they'll lose by 8 goals. There is no in between.
Yeah.
Okay,
Agreed.
okay.
They're not blowing him out.
No.
Carlton's not blowing him out.
No.
Yeah.
They're not up there.
I agree with that.
I just think momentum is like we'll talk Collingwood game. I'm shit scared of the Giants. I think the Blues are absolutely a chance. This just reeks of another Brisbane choke, Dan. Brisbane have done it for years. I just reeks of a game that Brisbane should on paper be winning, and they don't win. So I am petrified.
Bit smelly.
It is smelly, Dan. It is smelly. So they absolutely are a chance. Now, are the Lions pretty strong favourites? Yes.
As I should be.
You honestly reckon
undefeated
Carlton?
in the Gabba.
Correct. They're 11-0 together. So.
What's your percentage if you're going out 100? Carlton winning.
65-35.
Carlton.
To Carlton.
No, to Brisbane.
Oh, okay.
65-35. Maybe leaning close to 70-30, but 65-35.
Stick with your gut, mate.
I think they're honestly a genuine chance.
Wow.
But I would say I think what Dan said is also very true. Though I think Carlton, Brisbane won't win a close one. I think it'll either be a 5-goal win or they'll lose.
Are you worried? You're not worried that Carlton's a bit banged up? I know the momentum's nice, but Paddy Cripps was banged up before
They
the first
are so
round.
banged up.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about it.
I think if they do get through this week, it'll be a bit like GWS in 2019.
Yeah.
There was just the season was game too long for them. They just
It was
were
too
really
much,
really
yeah.
good until the prelim and then fell off a cliff.
It's the reason why it's so almost impossible to win a flag from the bottom part of the eight, because you have to go through 4 grueling Fletchers. Everyone goes doggies,
Up the
but,
doggies.
but you're right in saying that this.
Well, they lost it once. They won it once.
Yeah, they have.
Like
How
This
is
is 4 grueling
How is losing a
games.
grand final?
That one was shit out.
Dan wouldn't know as a bloody
3-0.
Richmond supporter. But
Yeah. Went through a lot of hard years though, so
yeah, you kind of made it up, didn't you?
Yeah.
But no, I think the winning 4 grueling. You're right. If they win this week, Akers is banged up, Cripps is sore, Mackay's coming off a head injury. Like they've got quite a few players that are sore. So you like. To be fair though, you beat Melbourne, and you beat Brisbane at the Gabba. No one holds any. You don't hold fear of anyone after that. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we have to talk about Cripps, Walsh, Akers. I've got dot point here. Were unreal. And
Yeah.
Akers has one shoulder. That's my only concern. Is he play this week? He has one. He took that mark, kicked that goal. He literally his arm was like hanging.
Do you think he's?
And Docky
Do
also
you think
is like
he was crucial, or he like? Do you think he's a crucial part of the team, or that he's just had a good game?
crucial.
Crucial.
He's become crucial.
Yeah.
I think over the last month. I honestly thought he was a bit of a role player until the last month. He's been unreal.
The way he plays his role, he tips him over the edge. It helps and it allows everyone else to do what they need to do, or
The extra
pushes the
5%.
stars. Yeah,
Yeah.
pushes the stars up and does the dirty work for the stars to do what they need to do.
I think he came in as a role player, and I think he's just gotten so much better that he's become one of the better wingers. I think if you were listing your top 5 wingers, Akers would be in there now in the comp.
He sort of
Recency bias a little bit, but yes.
In terms of wingers, yeah, I think he's in there.
And you think he makes the players around him better from
Yeah.
just being there.
Yeah, and just like, this is my role. Up and down the field now, Walsh can go in the middle a bit more. Walsh can do, Pettigrew, like he just allows them to have a bit more freedom to do what they need to do. Similar to what like Kane Lambert did for Dustin Martin
Yep.
years ago. Like,
Yep.
I'll do all
Play
the grunt
role.
work and you just go kick goals, kick snacks and win this game. So I think he's allowing that. But he's actually getting a few goals and doing a bit of the polished stuff. But aside from that, he's very much
It's
just
good for
getting
him to get
up
in
and
the
down.
limelight like that as well. Like,
Yeah.
Giving some recognition.
He's finally gets
Deserves.
recognition. You're
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fletcher, sorry, I'm interrupting you there. Doing it without Curnow is scary. They're playing so well without
Yeah,
Curnow.
he's been
He's
shut
kicked 2
down.
goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
And they've still won both games. You would tell me, if I were to tell you at the start of the finals that Curnow kicked 2 goals in 2 games, you're telling me he can't probably lose both of them. And they've won both of them.
Yeah, but he's played a role. Like he hasn't been outmarked ever. I don't remember a time he's been outmarked.
Yeah.
So, and against two
May-
very good defences.
May was spectacular.
And
Yeah,
so
May was-
McCartan, people saying it's
Yeah.
one of McCartan's best games ever.
Yeah. So who have they got? Harris Andrews is going to take him this
It'll
week.
be Payne or Gardner.
Yeah, I think Payne
Andrews
will
takes
take
the
him.
second guy.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Andrews will float across. So, but then someone's got to take Mackay. Payne might take Mackay, and
It might be because they got 2 really good. Yeah, I don't know.
It'll be tricky for them.
Payne's also an injury cloud, so I don't really know who. That's another point is who plays on him because I don't know because Payne's injured at the moment.
who do you think the midfield battle will go to? 2 very good midfields. As we talked about midfield, well, we should probably shouldn't.
I think
but
Brisbane at the Gabba is going to be hard to beat.
Brisbane, Gabby, you reckon?
Yeah. I think the Gabbas are the Gabbatoir, as we say.
Brisbane
It's-
Vegas.
Brisbane Vegas. It's a different ground to go to, and Carlton have not played there. One game this year?
Probably,
at
yeah.
the Gabba. There would have been a few players who played there a few years ago when there was the
COVID
COVID and
years,
everyone
yeah.
played there. But it is a different ground. It's like how Geelong is a different ground. It's a different shape and it's a different way to play. And Brisbane have that experience.
Yeah. Lockie Neal's going to be massive in this game.
I'll bet say do they tag him? Does Hewitt go to
Nah. Oh, yeah.
I think
Because-
after, yeah.
I was about to say because thing is though, Drew did a very good job and they still lost Port. And I'm about to tell you the CBA attendances, but I don't think Hewitt's been playing that much midfield. Hewitt. Where is he? George Hewitt, 63%. So that's a fair. But like,
Can't let Neal run around the Gabba
no,
have
that's the thing. You can't. But also, locking him down doesn't guarantee a win. That's the thing.
I reckon it gets you close to a win, though. Like, I'd rather have Dunkley have 30 than Neal have 30.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Not
Dunkley
a
just
question.
kicks like a dog. So, like, let him have 30. But
There has to be some work into him. I don't think it has to be a hard tag the whole game. But you're right. You're finally Dunkley rack up 30. You can't let Neal. If Neal gets 30, for me, there's no world where Neal gets 30 and can't win. There's no world.
I agree with that.
no world.
None. Neal has 30. Curnow has to kick 6.
I would have said that about last year when they played Richmond and they lost
Yeah.
that game. So,
And I just think that their offense is just firing
Yeah.
so much better that I think that Curnow would have to match Neal.
They played you in the first final.
Lost them.
They beat us, actually.
I thought you beat them.
No, do you not remember? Was it Joe Danaher who went over the top, the two defenders?
Yeah.
But he come through the back.
Inside a minute.
Mate, I remember
I
that.
thought. Oh, that's right. Prestia went down. He was killing
Yeah.
Brisbane.
They
and
lost
down.
inside the last minute or something.
Yeah.
And then Judson Clark, I think it was Judson Clark, just needed to punch the ball. Anyway, sorry. This is bringing up
PTSD.
wounds.
But I just think that if Neil has 30, I can't see him winning unless Kerno kicks like 6.
All right, forward matchups for Brisbane. So Wiedering goes to who? Joe,
I think it has to be
Probably.
Joe. Yeah.
and then McGovern goes to Hipwood.
Kemp could go to Hipwood, and McGovern plays.
You reckon Kent will go to Charlie Cameron?
Newman or Sard will go to Cameron.
Yeah.
Not Sard. Sard
won't.
won't.
Sard won't. It'd be
Sard won't.
Nick Newman, and I liked the matchup. I think that'll be a juicy
Yeah, I think
one.
that is
Nick Newman,
Yeah.
back half the year's in All-Australian form.
I don't think it's at the speed of Charlie, but yeah.
He wasn't in the squad though.
He wasn't, but his back
He's
half
been
he
good.
was so
Yeah.
good, it deserved it. I thought he was right. But, I'm not sure how tall Brody Kemp is, but I don't mind them releasing. I don't mind them releasing. I guess I'm trying to think who, because I guess they also have a third tall in the ruckman.
Yeah, they'll go
yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
Brody
Well, they did
Kemp.
have TDK was down back for a portion
Yeah,
of
he
the game
did
last
actually
week.
play a little bit back.
192 centimeters, Brody Kemp. So he could take.
Big boy.
So I think he probably takes.
How tall are you?
That's a
Tom?
weird matchup. 175. I'm the same height as you, Champ. 175.
No, you're not. I'm taller than that.
No, you're not. But actually, well, who's Brody Kemp take? Because I don't have a medium-sized forward. Their next one's McCarthy.
Yeah.
So you're
McCarthy
right,
plays a bit of a taller forward. He doesn't play. He plays
Plays
junior.
like it, yeah. So I think you're right. Wiedering goes to Joe, and I think Hipwood is taken by McGovern.
All I've heard this whole time now thinking about it, Rayner and Bailey have got no matchup.
No,
They've got absolutely no matchup.
Kent probably takes one of them.
he has to.
But
But
they're
I-
too small.
Yeah, I
feel like
think
they're
they're too small. Yeah, I think he'll just run them ragged.
Rayner, I think, is not as quick as Bailey.
Rayner's a
But I think both of them can take him up the field and get him lost in a stoppage.
Yes. So you're right. Maybe that third tall might be an issue for Carlton. Who knows?
Especially with the rucks, 2 rucks, and then 2 forwards down
It'll be
there. Like,
very interesting.
could
to
get
see.
a
Brisbane don't have. Actually, I went blank. Brisbane don't have 2 rucks. They've only got Joe
Oscar
Danaher.
McInerney.
Yeah, and then Joe Danaher.
Yeah, which is fine. That's all you need.
Yeah, I think it's fine. But for me, Brody Kemp doesn't really have a matchup. So who knows? He's going to have to play on a McCarthy or a Rayner. He's going to have to play on one of them.
Yeah, Zach Bailey.
Maybe
That's
like,
a tough matchup for him, I reckon.
maybe some
A
Rayner is
smaller
playing a
player
role.
for sure.
All right, Tommy, you get your wish now. We're going to talk about the Collingwood Magpies.
We haven't given our
I
tip
don't-
yet.
I don't think.
Oh, you can give your tip then. Who do you think?
Brisbane. By the way, I got them both right last week. So I just want to make that really clear. I said Giants and Carlton both win.
Yeah, right,
I was on a flex before I get these wrong.
Did you say the Lions?
I'm tipping Lions.
Good.
Here.
Okay. Dan, what do you tip?
Hang on, by 21, by 27 points.
I'm wrapped for you. I'm also going the Lions.
By how much?
Why does that matter? I said the Lions.
Nearest
They're going
to
to win.
kin.
It's going to be 8 goals. So let's go 8 goals.
8 goals.
Yeah,
He did say that. He said Lions smash or
They-
Carlton
they'll
just
either-
win.
By the way, like you, I also said Brisbane have to go by 5 goals. Then I tipped a margin under 5 goals. So I've kind of gone against myself.
You
but
expose yourself there. Not your best
actually,
work, Tom.
5 goals.
Would you like
Brisbane.
to 5 goals?
Yeah.
You sure?
Even 5. 30 points on the dot.
Fletcher?
Lions by 25 points.
Dude, we're thinking comfortably.
It's a
Like we
hard
say,
ground to
the-
play at.
It's going to go one way or the other.
Yeah,
But do you think that Carlton is going to win marginally? They're going to do what they have
Hope not.
been doing in this final series and sort of just will their way across the line,
Hope not.
or are they going to get just blown over by the forward line and midfield? Really, of
hope not.
Brisbane?
Collingwood versus JWS.
Your 2 loves, Collingwood and Brody Green. Sorry, Toby.
Green.
Sorry,
I love
that's
Uncle
one of my worst
Toby.
moments.
I love Uncle Toby. If I get a second dog name, enough for Toby Green. But we're going to start with the Pies matchup, Fletcher. I think surely Maynard.
Start
versus
us off.
Green.
You talk to us.
Maynard versus Green has to be the first one. I saw a stat today on the AFL Instagram page. They shared all the total minutes each Collingwood defender has played on Toby Green.
102 to Brandon Maynard, 1 goal.
142 minutes to Brandon Maynard for 1 goal. Isaac Quaynor kicked 5 on, so Isaac Quaynor won't take him. But Maynard versus Green is going to be as box office.
Yeah.
And do you remember the comments on the Cap said it in 2018 where he said like he's another player,
Who said that?
Maynard,
Oh,
for a
really?
2018 final. Now, if he didn't have that scrutiny on him last week, I think he probably says similar this week. But obviously, after all the media scrutiny he had, he probably wants to stay out of the limelight, and rightly so.
Yeah, I'd like to see them on the footy field. Two real
It's
hot
gonna be unreal.
personalities.
It is box office. I think the AFL licking their lips this matchup, but yeah.
Talk about AFL licking lips. This is going to be Carlton Collingwood granny. Let's
Yeah.
be honest here.
Wow, you're that confident Collingwood win?
I want
No,
Carlton Collingwood.
Carlton Collingwood. The AFL will do everything.
Yes.
The umpires will be slip the brown paper
I
bag.
said that. I
Sure.
put a message in the chat during the week about that. That I think AFL is like I think Riley said it. Riley Marcus. Imagine going from Carlton Collingwood to potentially a Brisbane Giants.
Yeah. I know one thing they definitely won't have. It's Brisbane Giants.
You
They will
reckon?
not have that. The AFL will make sure that does not happen. They'll at least get one of Carlton or one of Collingwood in
So you
there.
reckon Giants win on Friday? Expect
Yeah,
a
Carlton is winning.
lopsided freaking count at the Gabatoire.
Just blatant cheating.
15.
We're just accusing the AFL of bribery.
This podcast will never get off the ground. But nah, I think.
Yeah, Maynard takes Toby.
I think it's
Easy.
gonna be really good. I reckon it'd be better to watch live, don't you think, Tom?
Oh, I knew someone. I knew one of you pricks going to mention
Sneak up
that.
in there.
Hey, I'm going to watch it with with Andy, with maybe my dad. That'd be pretty cool.
Buckley.
With Buckley, we watching.
Not Nathan, but the dog.
Yeah, my dog Buckley,
Yep.
whose middle name's Toby. Toby
It's
Green.
good to explain that twice. Yeah.
Pardon?
Your dog.
I have to make it obvious, but I think it's a cute name. Do you think it's a cute name?
All right, moving on. Taylor Adams out. Suck shit. Nah, dude.
Hang on.
It makes the life of like really easy. Nick Dacos comes back in. You have to do another John Noble situation.
And Tom Mitchell plays a lot more midfield time.
That's another thing that helps out.
So I think it makes it more clearer. He's been a very good finals
more
player.
clearer.
Taylor Adams.
Yep.
It does make it clearer, mate.
Yep.
But
More.
yeah, it wasn't great.
More clearer.
Says what tried to spell Ian with an E. He says Ian E-A-N. But I think the biggest. But I think that Tom Mitchell has a really big role this week. He probably plays on Tom Green. You think?
Yeah, Tom Green is going to be key.
He's been unreal.
That'll be talking about key matchups. We should have a sting for this, but key matchups. I think that'll be massive. Tom Green tore it up
Yeah.
and has been tearing it up.
Yeah, he has. I love that. I love his coming out first win saying free smoke. It's something about like anywhere, anytime, free smoke. Who wants it or something like that? That was gross. But yeah,
Fags, by the sounds of
pardon,
this.
yeah, a few durries.
On the day.
But
Some of your early times.
but yeah, I think we need to nullify Tom Green because Collingwood. Well, I mean, for me, the pace in the whole Giants midfield is a concern. That they're quick at midfield, and what they did to Port Adelaide was very scary. Fletcher,
So you're concerned about the Giants? Is that what you're saying?
Do you think that
petrified.
because Power also have a very quick midfield after being very young?
True.
Do you think they were quicker than comfortably?
You always look quick with the ball.
Yeah, you do.
The ball
You
moves
do,
quicker than
yeah.
your feet. So
You can't-
if you have the ball, you look quicker.
Yeah.
When you're defending, you always look slower. So they just want more of the ball.
That
Win
Greg
more of the ball,
that
looks quicker.
Popovich quote: "You can't outrun the basketball,
That's right.
can't outrun the football." But
And GWS had the football like 80% of the time, so it always looked quick. Whereas Collingwood at the start of the year looked really quick. Why? Because they always had the footy.
I
Then
do
they started to lose the footy. Didn't
that's,
look as quick.
that's I think McFly said that. He said like, "Yeah, we're going to look slow when we over the footy because we're trying to chase it all day."
Yeah.
I do. The Dacos is big for that speed factor because I do think we've looked slow for a while.
Do you think they'll look for Nick Dacos as they have been during the year as much now that he's back? Do you think he'll just walk straight back into the role that he's played all year?
Yeah, he'll
I'd
walk
think
straight
so.
into it.
Yeah.
I do
Because
I
he's
think so.
they do look for him all the time
Yes,
to get the ball, and fair enough. Like you want to get the ball in the hands of your
best
best
player.
ball
Yeah,
user.
Yeah.
Him and his brother, like two of the best ball users in the comp.
correct.
Two of the best field kicks in the comp.
Yeah, spot on. Nick
Wish I
Dacos is
could
probably
throw
one of the
Tim
best.
Taranto in there as well, but unfortunately,
The worst kick in the AFL. But yeah, who do you think wins that midfield matchup? Do you think it decides the game?
No. Collingwood's rebound off defence, I think, is so good that it doesn't really worry him. But at the same time, if it is just going in there constantly, it is hard to win when you don't have the territory.
I just can't see it because
The Giants midfield do scare me though. Looks very good inside to out. Canilo's playing really well. speed and burst. Lockie Whitfield of halfback, but then the inside of Tom Green. It's a very good blend.
I think Toby Green needs to be massive. He will need to be massive in that forward line.
That's a good point. I just think that Collingwood's tools will nullify Hogan and Riccardi.
But the way
what Port have been able to do.
Riccardi's looked good this year.
He was going to leave. And there was talk about him leaving during the year, but he's been too good. They can't leave him out.
I would have said that their weakness, because everyone's saying they have to have an issue, I would have said that their weakness was a tall forward. But Riccardi and Hogan have made it work. And the other, there's one more.
Lockie Keefe.
It's funny.
He played on Elliott. He'll play on Darcy Moore this week.
But there was one more, someone else. They're medium-sized forwards. They're not tall forwards, but they've made it work.
Callum Brown or Connor Iden?
Yeah,
they look the same. Callum Brown. Callum Iden plays defence, I think.
It's racist. They look the same.
No, there was a TikTok that said
Very
like two players look the same. They actually do look the same. They actually do. But yes, on the surface it looks racist, but they actually look the same.
They're not. I wouldn't have said they're big, imposing players, but they've made it work. Like, absolutely made it work, and I can't believe they're doing it, to be honest with you.
No, I think Giants' forward line is more dangerous than the Melbourne forward line. So if we see a similar sort of entry like situation to the Melbourne game, Collingwood won't win.
I think they take more marks.
Yeah, and their ball use is better.
They use their lead-up forwards more.
Correct. So I think Collingwood have to at least halve it.
And Toby Green's the best small forward in the competition. So
by a long way.
Probably small, medium forward, but yeah.
By a long way. But interested to see.
If you run into Toby Green, would you give him a kiss?
I'd jump on him and he'd probably punch me.
Yeah, you'd be taking down.
He wouldn't need security. He would just drop me.
Maybe just put his foot up.
We're probably the same height. How tall is Toby Green? Probably 180.
No.
He'd be 180.
More like my height.
But you said you're 175.
It's 5 centimeters isn't that much, Fletch. 181. 6 centimeters.
5 centimeters isn't much.
Not that much. Compared to AFL player, it's not much.
I had myself measured the other day. I'm 5'11" and a half.
No,
No, I am. You can
No,
ask
you're
I was
not.
Callum at Yarramah Park Golf Course. We were measuring each other.
Dan is the same height as me.
How tall is he, Tommy?
Dan,
No.
No, not me.
181.
I'll put my back up against the wall. I'll get you to get the ruler and we'll measure it later.
But
Put it on the socials.
Tune into the podcast to find out what these inside jokes are about.
That was a low-key power move. You
That
just,
was a power
told
move.
us what to do.
Can Myercheck nullify Sam Taylor? Is the what's the next question?
No.
Checkers. Well,
He'll work hard, but he's not nullifying.
To be honest, any one of the four line. The biggest thing is bringing to ground because Sam Taylor, Jack Buckley, they're
But even then, they sweep it so well.
Bobby Hill.
Yeah.
My man.
GWS do a really good job at turning that contest, the 50-50 ball down the ground, to sweeping it back into your forward line. Like Whitfield, all them, they just get it and go. So it's going to be a tough one for you.
Yep.
Like, even if you do win the aerial contest, you got to win the ground contest, which I know you're very good on the ground, but it's going to be difficult.
Of course it is. And as I've got more and more like skeptical and nervous as the week's gone on, I think I probably kind of assume I'm at the grand final last week.
I think
I'm
going to do my early tip. I think Collingwood are going to win.
That's why I like you, Hoops.
I hate Collingwood. I do. I don't like telling it to people because I don't want to be too. But Collingwood is the one team that really I don't like to watch win.
I say same Richmond, so that's why I'm at.
Yeah,
I've heard
you
it
say
every
it a few
I
times.
say I don't hide it very well, Richmond Carlton, but so you reckon Collingwood win?
I do the old smile and wave when talk about Collingwood. Put on a brave face. Yeah, I do have. I think Collingwood. I'd love a Collingwood Carlton grand final.
Would ya?
Yeah, I would.
See, I'd hate that.
So when
Yeah, because you're bloody.
Well, no, but
Collingwood,
even
you
let's say it was
muppet.
Richmond Carlton, I'd hate it because there's two spot based. So I don't want either of them to win. So I'm surprised you'd want one.
Nah, well, Carlton have been
The build up
ordinary for so long, and I actually like the same. I've never seen Carlton be good, like properly good. I know they
right.
beat us in the
No,
finals
you're right.
from ninth and all that sort of stuff. But I have I don't have any reason to hate Carlton because besides the supporters hating me, so I'm okay with them winning. Same with Brisbane. Like I'm okay with Brisbane. But I hate Collingwood.
Oh, that was a great point. That's the reason why I haven't hated Carlton till this year because they've been so shit. You don't need to hate them. So Dad hates Carlton with a passion.
Yeah, 90s. Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't have to hate Carlton because they're never good
Yeah.
until this year.
Same with
Now
Essendon.
I do
I feel
hate Carlton.
bad for the supporters.
I don't hate
No
Essendon
reason
because
to hate
they're no good. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, it sucked in. Like Richmond, I hate Richmond because they've been so good. For this year, I haven't hated them as much because
So
they're
good
not
for
that
so
good.
long, mate. You should have been there with me, early 2000s, mid 2000s,
Yeah,
2010s. Yeah.
genuine. Like, yeah,
Oh, yeah, we
shambles.
just have some good years. Anyway,
But so you're in Collingwood, but yeah, I'm surprised you said that. I'm surprised you want Collingwood, but I mean for Victoria.
Yeah,
Be mad.
footy pumps. When big teams do well, footy pumps.
It does.
That's why I actually want Essendon to have a dip, even like to have a sniff like Carlton did last year, and just get that supporter base out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Like they have been for so long. Anyway, sorry, we just keep changing the subject, but
You gonna give your tip, Fletcher?
I'm the same. I think. No, I'm sorry. I'm not the same.
you got GWS, do you?
I honestly think JW's coming in here.
Oh my god!
If I was a betting man and I had to put my money on it,
You are a betting man.
not as much now that the bonus bets are gone. I'd probably tip Geelong. Oh, sorry, Geelong. Collingwood. in
I'm
my,
playing.
The
I'd probably
third team runs out in the field.
I'd probably tip Collingwood in my tipping competition just so I get the tip right. But I do honestly believe that GWS can win this game. Like, I know Carlton, they're obviously in the game so they can win it, but GWS are that close. I think it's 50-50. Like, if they dominate you around the ball, they can score better than Melbourne. And that's been your weakness. That has been your weakness the whole time. So, honestly, I'm going to say GWS just to be different to you two.
I mean, you didn't know who I'm tipping.
If you go GWS, it'll be a shock.
I'll just say,
No, you're not.
no,
No,
I'll go
That's the biggest-
Collingwood. I'll go because Giants. Everyone's
Just do what you
saying.
believe in. Just do what you believe in.
Oh, no, everyone's saying Giants doing Collingwood's games are better at the moment. So, I think I'd get abused. I'd get abused if I went Giants. So I'm gonna say Collingwood by like 10 points, like really close.
I don't know why I'm putting this points thing. I just
Just because I want to be more in depth,
Okay.
man.
He wants to be more accurate.
So Collingwood by 10 points, in my opinion. But I'll be putting a bit of money on the Giants. They're a bit of a win-win factor.
Your team's going to miss out on a grand final.
But when
There's no
someone's-
win in there.
you're going to be sitting there with
No,
a grin going.
correct. But
Hey,
I'd rather be sad with money than sad. So I'd be sad with winning, $50
It's a
and
nice
being
hypothetical. Sad with money or happy without money, Tom?
Collingwood making grand final. I'd be willing to give up money for Collingwood making grand
How
final.
much?
You would, but if you win $50 and they don't make the grand final, who gives a
I'm
fuck?
still sad. No, spot on. I'm not
about-
going to be like, yes, Collingwood lost, but I want some money. No, I'll still hate it. But I'd rather be sad with money than sad without money.
What about?
It's $50. It doesn't mean shit.
What if you
For
put?
me, it does. You're rich. For me, it
No,
doesn't.
$50.
He's got a house.
I got a very big home.
Correct. I'm a uni student.
Yeah, you're also poor.
I wouldn't say poor, but
I
not.
know the
I'm not
feeling.
wealthy. Not poor though.
Drinks are on you. I hope something you say it's completely gone out. Like,
Ah, well, must be not important then.
there's things that you do to me.
But no, I think Collingwood win. But honestly, for me, it's a genuine flip of the coin, like genuinely. And it would not surprise me in the slice they win. So as the week's gone on, I've got more and more scared. Maybe that's nerves. But,
Yeah, that's just getting close to the game. I think.
but I just think Giants. I was
Does
still
it keep
Giants
you
are
awake
more
at night?
chance. No, not yet. I reckon Thursday night I will, but not right now. That's why I might need to drink a lot Thursday night, so I pass out.
It's an unhealthy
What?
obsession. But
I don't even drink.
That's
but-
not healthy,
I
Tom.
don't even drink, but I'll be nervous on Thursday night.
You realise what you just said?
Should
I'm going
get
to drink a lot so I can fall asleep.
maybe speak to your GP about getting some sleeping tablets. That sounds like a healthier alternative.
That also is not healthy, but healthier. Sleep tablets cannot be healthy.
That's what he did say.
Yeah.
He did say healthier, not healthy.
I'll tell you right now, grand final day, whether Collingwood's there or not, like I'll be either drinking in celebration or drinking in sorrow.
Maybe
Whether we're there or
tequila?
not. I don't.
Tequila.
I hate tequila, but I'll drink it.
Da, da, da,
Two
da,
thumbs
da,
up.
da.
But yeah, so I think Collingwood but it will not surprise me. Giants win, to be honest, boys.
Love to hear thoughts. This
Yeah.
podcast's gone for a long time.
I
This has
think
been like an hour.
I'm going for Carlton to win the lot, personally.
Carlton.
Yep.
Do you think they'll win this week?
No, I don't think that. But I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him.
Oh, I hate when you and Riley put in the chat saying, "I'm so happy for you." No, we're not happy for Carlton.
I'm pretty wrapped.
Oh, I'm
Seeing
not.
people smile that haven't smiled for
What
a
about
long
me
time.
smiling?
No, I don't really care.
We finished second last year, or 2 years ago.
We finished second
One of
last.
the only years I haven't seen Collingwood make finals.
Like Riley,
Oh, God.
Geelong and Collingwood.
Yeah. Always call you fake
Yeah.
fan, honestly.
I'm not a fake fan.
Well,
Do not-
You remember?
It's easy.
I remember next year.
Oh, you're not even a member.
I work Friday nights. Collingwood play Friday nights. What's the point?
Don't want to just help out the club.
Yeah.
They're a rich club. They don't need my help.
And the second thing, Tommy,
And you're poor, aren't you?
Next year, I'll
you're
next year I'll
just not
absolutely be.
wealthy.
I'll genuinely be a fan.
next year should be wealthy.
Next year I'll be rich by next year. I'm not working Friday nights next year, so I'll be a member next year. I promise. Promise. Me and Andy get members together.
If you win a substantial amount of money, putting money on GWS, you should use that money to spend on your membership and say, I apologise and say, I'm sorry.
I won this on us losing.
Yeah,
Here
this
you
is
go.
like blood money.
I actually will do that. Honestly, I will probably stash it away for membership next year, where I get the bumper sticker, the K membership. You joined it, Richard membership, just for the K membership.
Yeah. Highly recommend. For
I was going to do it
K.
for the KO and the scarf, but they ran out of scarf, so I didn't do it. Like Collingwood offering the KO subscription and the scarf. I wanted a new scarf. My scarf is from like early 2000s.
Vintage.
I want to update. Yeah, I want to update. So I was going to buy. I want to buy membership just for the scarf, literally, but they had run out.
Maybe you should go to the MCG on Saturday and just ask someone for their scarf. Just offer them money. I'll give you $100 cash for your scarf, and then you go outside. And you would?
Yeah. Oh
No, he would want $100. That's who say.
no! I'd pay $50 for the scarf. Because I could just put boys to go buy. I saw
Go to Rebel Sport and
As I
buy a
say-
friggin' scarf, you muppet.
Yeah, that's true. And I saw at Savers a while back when I was buying my cricket outfit. So there was like I could probably just got like it was a 2014 member. So I was gonna get that.
Oh, jeez, that's
$5.
fake. Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to buy a membership
Why
one.
don't you get on a plane and go to Bali and see what you can find there?
Oh, I'm wearing them now. My footy shorts, Richmond footy shorts that have pockets. The best thing to come out of Bali.
They have pockets.
They have pockets. It's an absolute game changer. I'm wearing them everywhere.
That's unreal.
Yeah, they're going to be summer staples for me. Highly recommend the flight
Just for it.
just for that.
Shall
Yeah.
do.
And then maybe fly back. Get a tattoo or something. It's cheap.
I want to get a tattoo too.
So yeah, where?
Forehead.
tattoo.
Says dickhead.
Forehead. Across
No,
the nose.
on my
maybe.
wrists. On my wrist. But we spoke for so long, we probably can't afford
A teardrop just below his eye.
No, it will
It's
not
been
be.
breaking hearts. So.
Fletcher to end. It's gone for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, okay. Tell a friend, like the socials. Thanks for listening.
Hank,
We'll see you
and
next
thank
week.
you, Dan, for coming on, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
Send it.
I've had an absolute blast.
You were very funny,
No,
surprisingly.
I haven't. There was a lot of lead balloons there. I'd
Good
like
by
some...
your standards.
You throw enough shit at the wall, it sticks finally.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
But yeah,
I
thank you.
apologise for the Gridley section.
But yeah, thank you for coming on, my friend.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me. Sayonara.
Thanks for listening.